hide, delete. Oh, I didn't think I could get myself back on then. I was testing out new things. Hello, everybody. How are you all? First in the house tonight is Maxine. Hi, Maxine. Next, we've got Kaz Crafts. Hello, Kaz. Hello, Gemma. How are you all doing? It's a very wet day today. However, I still braved it. I hadn't been out on my bike for about 2 weeks because things have been a little bit crazy busy. My partner's not been very well. It's on the mend now. So with doing that and jewelry maker and everything else, it's just been a bit crazy busy. Hello, Linda. Hello, Vic. How are you all? What have you all been up to? Pop me a note in the comments. Have you all been busy? I've been looking forward to doing this. It feels like forever that feels like such a long time since I've done a tutorial. So tonight's tutorial, I have a confession to make. I couldn't remember how to do it. I put it up and I thought, oh, yeah, I'll do this. And then I thought, do you know what? I can't actually remember how to make it. But rest assured, I am now refreshed and I know how to make it so I can teach you. But I don't know how many of you are like that, is when it's been a little while. I mean, this wasn't actually that long ago that I did it. But sometimes you're so busy doing different patterns that you can't actually remember. So should we go on the overhead? Let's go on the overhead. Let's have a look. Hello, Carol. Thank you for joining. Right, let's take that little Facebook banner off, shall we? Bear with. Hide. Right. Gosh, I'm out of practice. Let's go on the overhead. Oh, that's a bit messy, isn't it? Definitely out of practice. Right, let's move that forward and let's go in a bit, shall we? Right, okay. So this is what we're making. And what I really, really love about this pattern is that it's really versatile. You can practically use it with any rounds or rondelles. Experiment and you can change the number of seed beads in between. Now, I will put these back up again, but these were some of the absolutely beautiful, beautiful apatite gemstone beads that I had in the last auction. And they're only sort of about 2 mil. So I've actually done the pattern in that. And we've got a few more joining. Linda says, I'm unpacking and throwing stuff out now I'm back home. Oh, Linda, I'm so pleased to hear you're back home. That must be such a good feeling. Hello, Liz. Hello, Kim. Right, let me just show you some of the things that I think would work really well with this. Now, I'm using one of the smaller crystal rondelle strands that are in the group thread. I think these are like £1.50 for a 16-inch strand. I think they're really, really effective. I've also put up some hematite, 75p a strand. You can't go wrong. I think those would work really well. There's only one of these, but I thought this would work really well. Is a chakra 6mm gemstone beads as well. And I thought like rondelles would work quite well as well. These are some of the icy AB coated beads that have just gone up as well. Now, what we're going to be using, I'll just pop that there. So if anybody's late to the show, they'll be able to see what we're making. So I'm going to be using these little crystal rondelles. I think they're 2x3s and size 11 seed beads. But to be honest with you, I think you could use size 8, size 6s, size 10s. Just experiment. Give it a go. Okay, that's that one. I do like that one. And so we've got a size 10 beading needle and I'm using my yucky thread because when I'm demonstrating, I have to confess, I don't actually particularly like, just move that across. I don't particularly like using wildfire while I'm demonstrating because I find it more difficult to thread. I love working with it, but it's more difficult to thread. I find your Mayuki or your Naimo a lot easier to thread while I'm doing a live. So anyway, we'll crack on. I will get stuck in. So we've got a little pile of the size 11s. Now, we're going to start without any clasp, first of all. We're going to start with 3 seed beads. Just to say, in this slightly bigger version, I start off with 4 seed beads. Then I'm going to add, that's what I mean by experiment. Then I'm going to add one of these rondelles, and then I'm going to add 2 seed beads. So we've got 3, a rondelle, and 2. Then I'm going to shimmy that along to the end. Now, I would suggest you leave about 4 to 5 inches of thread because you'll need that to add your clasp. And then what we're going to do is pop our needle up through the first bead that you added. So effectively what you've done is you've got 2 beads either side and 1 shared bead. And then we're going to tie 2 overhand knots just to secure it in place. Now, let's zoom in as much as we can, I think, so that you can see a bit better. Do let me know if this is a wee bit too close. Okay, so next step, add a rondelle, add 2 seed beads. And then we are going to go down through the last bead that's on the right side and pull. Let's just pop that down so you can have a look. Then we're going to add another rondelle and 2 more seed beads. Oops. Okay, so that's the right way around. That's where we started. And then we're going to go up. Sorry, it would help if you could actually see, wouldn't it? We're going to go up through that last bead. There we go. And you just continue. So it's just literally the start bit that differs. So just to recap, the start you had 3 seed beads, 1 rondelle, 2 seed beads. And then after that, you just add a rondelle and 2 seed beads. And then you repeat. So now we're going to go down the end of that last seed bead. Push those out of the way. And it's really key to getting your tension right on this. Now, I think this would make an absolutely beautiful choker necklace, and I think it would make an absolutely beautiful ring as well. But just make sure if you're making it for a ring is that, particularly if you're making it with your thread, that you don't get it wet. And then we go down. Hello, we've got Mamzam13. Let us know what your name is so we can involve you in the chat. Yes, Linda, I can quite imagine you've had a tough 14 months. Right, so it's coming together really nicely. So let me know, what would you make with this pattern? Have you got any ideas? Do you know earrings would be really, really lovely with this? I've just realised this is kind of Valentine's-y, isn't it? But as you can see, that comes together ever so quickly. Obviously, the smaller the bead you're using, the longer it takes to make. So obviously, the bigger the beads, the quicker the project. Ah, hi Carol. She said Cat's Crafts is me. It's switched. Ah, Facebook is an absolute nightmare for that. Uh, Liz is just asking, do you think this size is okay for a choker, or should I use rondelles instead of seed beads and a larger bead? Um, I think you just need to experiment, Liz, and I think it really depends on whether or not the person that you want the choker for prefers something more delicate, or whether or not they prefer something bold. So my advice to you really is to get a selection of beads out and have a play to see what you think. I mean, I think this is a beautiful size for a choker necklace. It's quite delicate, but again, it just depends on how bold you want to be or delicate. So sorry, I can't sort of help you on that one, other than to say, like, do samples and just see. So I think you mentioned it's for your daughter, so perhaps make a few samples and see what her preferences are like, and what it looks like against her neck. Kim says, I need 2 Valentine's prezzies. I have a date on Valentine's evening. Oh, that's exciting. I need two prezzies. I'm loving this red. Really loving this red. So we just carry on for a bit. It'll probably be a slightly shorter tutorial tonight. I have to confess, I'm absolutely poopty dooped. Last week, um, last week was a bit of a challenge. Visits in and out of hospital um, with my partner, who's resting and he's on the mend. I won't say any more because he'll moan at me. He'll moan at me for telling people. Oops. And then of course, oh, we spent hours in A&E. 20, yeah. Anyway, we won't go there. We'll move on. And then I had jewellery maker on Thursday with who was I with? Steph. And then jewellery maker with Carol this Monday. Jewellery maker on Wednesday, which is yesterday, and which I absolutely love it. I really love it, and I'm learning more and more that I need to go to bed early, because I get up at 4 when I go to the studio. I leave at 5, and we have to be in the studio for 7. And so I'm buzzing by the time I get there because I've been up for hours. But I was going to bed still at sort of 9 o'clock, and I don't know how many of you are the same, but I find I can't sleep straight away. So I wasn't actually getting that much sleep. Well, anyway, we've been going to bed a lot earlier, sort of like 7:30, for an early start, and it's much better, I'm pleased to say. I don't think I'm back on now till the 16th, so I'm going to miss that. Oh, Kim says my grandson and my fur grandson. Oh, Kim, Perfect dates. Grandbabies are fab, aren't they? I miss it when I don't see my grandchildren. A squidge a week sets you up for the whole week. Ruby Watson, this is a beautiful pattern. I can see this used in making a Christmas ornament, also for the base of a necklace with dangles and swags. What a great idea. Lovely to have you join us, Ruby. Carol says that's really pretty, and as you say, so delicate too. Oops, concentrate. I think a ring would be so nice as well. But use your gemstones. You know, use your gemstones. We've had a lot of gemstones in recent auctions that are sort of 2, 3, 4 mil. I tell you what I think would be beautiful with this is garnets. Garnets, the Hessonite orange garnet as well. Oh, that would be so nice. Now, it does seem, I don't know how many of you follow it, but the price of sterling silver, okay, at its height, I think it had gone up about 180% in price in the last year. But I don't know if it'll stay, but it's started to come back down a bit now. It's about down to 170% of where it was. So hugely expensive. So they do reckon at the moment that your silver plated sort of findings are the new sterling silver. But I have been stocking up, so I might have some to pop online soon. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. But I think if you use your gemstones, I'd be inclined to, well, gemstones or rondelles, because there's a lot of time that you take in this, is, you know, think about perhaps using your sterling silver clasps. Let's have a little look and see what it would look like as a ring. See, I like that. Let's put it on my other hand because it's a bit busy with that other ring. Kim says they really are. I'm seeing a lot more of him than I thought. The 150-mile drive there and back again is so worth it. Absolutely. They just fill up your cup, don't they, Kim? Linda said, I saw Olivia tonight for the first time since Sunday. I'm really missing after living with them for 12 months. Oh, Linda, I bet you are. I bet you are. And I bet she's really missing you too. I had a phone call from Daisy, my granddaughter, the other day. She was sat in the bath. Oh, she's so sweet. She's 2.5. Sort of going on a bit more than 2.5, but she said, I wanted to speak to my Annie. She calls me Annie. I like that. Annie. Annie, yeah. We'll stick with Annie. So she was crying in the bath, and my son phoned me and said she wanted to speak to you. And she stopped crying and then didn't know what to say to me. It was very sweet. I think she'll be that sort of age soon where I can start doing some jewellery making with her. That'll be fun. So anybody else got any more ideas about what they might use this pattern for? I'm just kind of thinking what you could do for the necklace is you could have 2 straight lines that you join in the middle. I'll try and show you afterwards what I mean by joining some of the bits together. All being well, next Friday, not tomorrow, but the week after, is we'll be having our auction. Just need to make sure Mum's available. And I've got loads of stocking ready for you. Some new stuff, obviously. Well, it's all new stuff. It's like Christmas every time I get a parcel. Kim said I had to leave my dressing gown for Jensen as he loves it. If he doesn't settle, James wears it. Oh, Kim, that's adorable. That's really adorable. There we go. It's coming on quite nicely, isn't it? Quite quickly. As they say, everything's easy when you know how, isn't it? So I think what we'll do in a sec is, oh, my thread's broken. So that's a good place to stop. I've never had my thread break on the Mayuki before. But anyway, so it's a repetitional pattern as much as you want. And what I'm kind of thinking, okay, is just putting some design ideas out there, is if you were to do a necklace, I would be inclined to do stitch. So if this is a necklace that you don't want to do as a choker, is I would be inclined to do one length one side, one length the other side, and then join it around here. You'd have to think of some way of putting it together, the other end, you know, round here. But that, I think, would probably be my suggestion for the choker, exactly the same as a necklace. Now this is all threaded, so let's pick up the needle on that one. Oh, I've got a knot in. That's a good start, isn't it? Let's see if I can just get that out. But like Liz said earlier on, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't really replace the, what am I trying to say? The seed beads with beads. This is very versatile, very experimental. Now I'm just going to show you how to attach the clasp. You may find another way of actually doing it. Bear with, because I'm just trying to thread my needle. Now, if we pull this sample up, what I've done is I've gone round these two here. So I'm going to go back around so I reposition my needle. Now, on this one, I've got more seed beads than this one. So I'm just going to go through the middle seed bead on this one. Then I'm going to add 2 seed beads. Pop my clasp on. Pop another 2 seed beads on and go the other side of that middle bead. And then we're going to reinforce, and if you've not done this before, reinforce is just literally where you're going back around the thread path, so the path that you've just gone around. Because what you wouldn't want to do is you wouldn't want to leave it on a single thread. Whoops. And then I'm just going to show you how to tie off as well. So if you are new to this, tying off is basically where you've finished your thread and you don't need it anymore. But before you trim it off, you need to make sure that it's secure. So I'd suggest that you trim off in 3 different places if you're able to. So what you would do for that is you would stitch in between beads, but before you pull it closed, just tie a knot. So do that in a number of different places before you actually cut your thread. Now, if you're needing to add in new thread, say for example your thread is just finished here, I would come back a bit further along, have a little tail, and then tie knots in 3 places. And that is basically how you would tie off. So you've got a couple of different styles to show you. So gems, crystals, acrylic, rondelles, anything really works with this project. So do let me know what your thoughts are, what you think you might have a go with. And we are going to leave it there tonight. It's going to be a quick one for us tonight. But I do hope that you found that useful. And don't forget as well to share your makes in our Beaders group, Beaders of Beads by Verchiel. Let me see if I have I don't think I've got a link to share. But if you are new, you can actually join us on our Facebook group, which is where you can buy the latest materials from as well. You can watch previous, so if you scan this code here, I think that's how it's shown on my screen. Also, you can watch previous tutorials on the scan code that's just come up as well. So I'm going to leave you to it. I can't wait to see what you all make. And yeah, experiment, see how it goes. Anyway, take care, everybody, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.